90% of roofers don't even know how to measure a roof for metal. A 7-figure, beautiful home. Oh, look at the pool, it's gonna be so nice. And then you look up and you look at that. We have 30-foot mansard panels on this side of the house. One thing I can say about myself personally and Metal Ops is that there is not many, I won't say there's none, there's not many metal roofing suppliers that will come out to your job and actually support you in the way that we feel it should be done. All of us roofers, we deal with manufacturer reps, you know, we give them orders, they give us quotes, they schedule us deliveries, and they bring material. Metal is a specialty trade, and you see behind me, this is a copper standing seam roof with these long vertical mansard walls. There's a lot of expertise and technical details and just care and preparation that goes into a job like this. And this is where we've positioned ourselves in the market as a metal roofing partner, not just a supplier. We don't just take your orders, we help you with whatever you need. So you're gonna see me bouncing around from job to job to job for various customers this week, helping solve problems, helping plan things out, teaching their team members on how to install metal roofing, helping with their customer service even. You'll see me talk to multiple customers, multiple homeowners, customers for my customers, and make them feel comfortable and make them feel like they hired a true expert to do this project. So that's where Metal Ops comes in, and we're just gonna take you around as we stop by some jobs and see some customers this week and give you a sneak peek behind the scenes to show you what we really do every day. Instead of trying to come straight across, I think we should come like this. This.
Right.
Yeah,
We start to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even here.
So from here,
Yeah, like this.
yeah, you're gonna have your 3 inches, right, of the face.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna come down 3 inches,
3, and then another 3 for the face.
and then you're gonna come another 3 down. So that's 6.
6 total. What's it? Oh, wait, 26? This was...
Yes.
Check that one. So you want this to be 1 on this side.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm gonna
just
check this one right now.
check it real quick. One of the best things about roofing in Florida is, I mean, look how beautiful. And I will say, as a newbie to the West Coast, the East Coast doesn't have beaches like this. It doesn't have water like this. I think I'm falling in love with the West Coast of Florida. It was like I don't know, a hidden gem. I had never been over here, but I love it. We're out here on this beautiful new construction home, and the cool thing about this job is it's gonna be actual copper. We have a steel and an aluminum painted color called copper metallic that's pretty popular, but this homeowner has FU money and decided he wants to put a real copper roof on. Problem with that is this is a very complicated job. It's a very complex job. It's a very custom job. I say it all the time. The best thing about metal roofing is it's so custom. I've got all my little custom trims here. But this job is super complicated, and there's a lot of factors with copper that make it difficult than any other metal roof. I always say metal roofing is like a trade in itself. Now that we're going complete copper on this roof, it makes it even more complex and more of a specialty trade. So with copper, we have to worry even more about expansion and contraction, thermal movement. Copper moves a lot. And if you follow me over to the edge, Mr. Cameraman, we have 30-foot mansard panels on this side of the house. So not only are the panels super long, which increases the risk of oil canning, the panels are completely vertical. You can see them from the main road. So any imperfections, you're just gonna be staring at them nonstop. They're gonna be an eyesore. So we're gonna use backer rod on the back side of the panels. We're gonna use floating clips to allow the panels to move more. We're gonna leave an extra expansion gap at the bottom of the panel so they have more room to move. And we checked this deck for any imperfections before we drive the roof in so that the panels can look as perfect as possible. They're not gonna look perfect, but they're gonna be as good as they can possibly look because we went through all the precautions. So today, we're just here walking the whole roof, measuring for things like this, all our coping caps, our transition metals, all the little detail pieces. Everything gets measured, drawn on my little notepad, bent in the shop, and then you'll see us next week when we come to install this roof. I don't know, it'll probably take 2-3 days. We'll see how it looks when we're done, and we'll have you out while we're in the process.
Put a lull in that parking lot. I forget what it was. So I have a lull I could bring out, and then you could put, there's forks. You could put something over the forks.
Just get the material safely up here, and then Wednesday we'll start.
You'll start. Okay.
That's good. This one, They bent this drip edge on a 90. But when the face is straight like this, I give you the pitch of the roof so it's tight. See how they're hanging off the side?
Yeah, I agree.
So those are the kind of the details I look for.
Flush. Right.
I like getting the panel underneath the bottom of the gooseneck better. We're standing in Lutz, not Lutz, Florida. I call it Lutz. I just learned it's Lutz, Florida. Looking at an awful metal install. I'm not the type of guy that likes to pick on other roofers' work. Roofing's hard. Nobody puts on a perfect roof 100% of the time. I know this. But I can confidently say that some people have no business doing metal roofing because they simply just don't know anything about it. I've learned this on my side as a metal supplier. There's roofing companies out there that don't know anything about metal and have no business installing it. And we're making this video at this beautiful home behind me, new construction home, $7 million home. And whatever roofer that this homeowner and this GC hired to come out here and do this roof did not know what they were talking about, didn't educate the homeowner and the GC on options, didn't select the right option, just started willy-nilly installing black metal panels, and it started coming out awful. And our customer got called in to now tear off what's been put on so far and just start from scratch. Metal roofing is kind of like a specialty trade. It's a trade in itself. There's a lot to know about metal roofing. So if your roofing installer just sells you a metal roof, but in the background actually has no idea, knows nothing about metal roofing, this could happen to you. So let's look around and see what happens. Okay, as you can see, I'm standing next to a ton of metal roof panels. This roof's 120 square. This metal package is going to be somewhere in the $30,000 to $40,000 range. And it makes my heart hurt that all this metal is going to have to go in the trash. And I'd like it if there was another solution to fix this homeowner's problem, but there's really not. And the reason for that is they were installing the wrong type of panel. Nobody went over oil canning with this customer, and the roofer just decided to use a 26 gauge, so a very light gauge, flat panel with no striations, which we'll get to in a minute. And the oil canning on this house was insane. They've got some long runs of panels. There's just no way you were going to install this type of panel without oil canning. And no, the roofer didn't bring up anything to the homeowner, anything to the GC. And now as we walk over there and we see how bad it looks, the homeowner came by the house to check on how their new construction build was going, looked up at the roof and went, "What the hell is that?" And nobody was warned, nobody was given options. This is just the panel the roofer selected, but anyone that knows about metal roofing could have told you, hey, bad idea, don't install that. So let's go see what it looks like. But all of these panels are gonna get thrown in the trash. There's been a lot of mistakes made on this previous roof attempt, but the main one I wanna cover now is the flat panels. So you can see in the sample I'm holding, this panel has what we call striations in it. That's not for aesthetics, although most people do like the way it looks, but really the purpose of the striations is to give the panel some rigidity and hide imperfections, because no matter what kind of metal roof you put on, as it gets hotter, the panel's actually going to stretch, and when it gets colder, the panel's going to shrink. So that expansion and contraction will leave dimples and waviness in the panels, and these striations help to prevent them. Metal roofers that know what they're talking about avoid flat panels like the plague. And every once in a while, we'll meet a homeowner or an engineer or an architect that's adamant on the historic flat panel look. And then we slide an oil canning waiver in front of them, try to talk them out of it, and just say, okay, listen, this is the risk. This is what's going to happen. Please sign this paper so that when you can see oil canning on your roof, you don't yell at me. And that was a step that this roofer missed because this wasn't brought up to anybody. Nobody had options to pick from. Nobody was educated. And now let's get up on the roof and see how nasty these panels look. So anytime a situation like this happens, and it happens all the time in roofing, you can assume that the quality of the work is not going to be good when the office is super organized. There's no communication. There's no education. There's no clear roofing experts involved in the roof project. I know that sounds crazy, but it's super common. What happened on this roof, if you look behind me, you see the seams in the underlayment. Every 3 foot, there's a seam going across the roof with that white paper. If you follow that across to the black panels, you can actually see the bump in the underlayment through the panels, which is a big no-no. We shouldn't be able to see those seams every 3 feet coming out underneath the panels. There's two reasons for this. Number one, this is 26 gauge metal, not 24. Very thin, very weak, very flimsy. The homeowner wasn't offered the option for a 24, which, to be honest, on a home like this in matte black, the roof should just be 24 gauge, because the thinner metal, it's going to do a bad job at hiding imperfections. But not only using the thinner, weaker metal, this underlayment I'm standing on is only rated to be exposed in the sun for 6 months. The UV rays actually start to wear this surfacing on the underlayment. And after 6 months, the manufacturer of this product says, hey, the material's no good. You've got to go on with another layer. So that's what happened on this project. The first layer of underlayment sat too long. The roofer had to recover it with another one. And when they recovered it, they put the seams in the same exact spot as the first seams. So now you have double the seam thickness running across the entire roof. That combined with the thin gauge metal, now I can see the underlayment seams underneath the metal panel, which is insane. It's okay, it's all gonna come off, but that's the reason for that. Here's another issue, and I'm actually gonna make sure I make obvious. None of these issues I'm finding on the roof are actually the roof installer's problem. They were not his fault. It seems like the guys that installed this partial roof actually kind of knew what they were doing. This is all office production, sales. All the problems are the office, the roofing company. They're not the actual roofers that were on this roof. This problem, for example, look at the fascia. Follow my hand. It's plumb to the ground, meaning it's vertical. Sometimes you'll see fascia that's angled back. This fascia is plumb to the ground, meaning that when it meets the roof slope, this is not a 90-degree angle. But the roofer set 90-degree drip edge, so in order to nail it to the roof, they had to cheat it off the roof. This is the most vulnerable place of a metal roof. It's all your strength. It's all your wind uplift. And watch. It's barely hanging on there because the drip edge is bent on a 90 and the roofer had to cheat it off the roof just to screw it to the plywood. Not the roofer's fault. His job is just to come and install what's here. The production department, the order, whoever sent this metal out here just sent it wrong, and now you have this issue. Again, it's okay. It's coming off. It'll get corrected. If you look up, you'll see all this plywood and fascia is stained black from water. It almost looks as if I'm in an attic of a 30-year-old house. The problem is this house is 0 days old. It's brand new. Nobody's even moved in yet. And if a timeout wasn't called on this roof project, this all would have got covered up and all this rotted, water-stained, soft, soggy wood would have stayed. And now we have 30-year water damage on a brand new house. Probably because when the house was dried in for so long, I think 8 months or 9 months, the edges were probably flapping open. It rained a bunch of times. The water was running down the roof, turning back up, and just rotting all this plywood. So now the roofer's gonna have to cut out 2 feet around pretty much the entire perimeter of the home and do a patch job to put new plywood in there because somehow the roof's rotted and the house is 0 days old. We're out in Bradenton, standing on a shopping center roof, and we're getting ready to measure this roof for metal. One of our customers tore this roof off, and then a GC came in and did all this woodwork, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy with the way the woodwork looks. We'll kind of show you that as we walk around. And shout out to my camera guy. This is like a 7.5, 12, and he's up here pretty non-shaky, so I'm super impressed. We'll see how he keeps up. Come on. You weren't even close. You're 4 feet off. Would have had to throw the panels in the trash. He says that he can measure the roof with his phone and there's no need to get up on the roof. I think he's full of shit, but I told him to try. I'll get up here and measure with a tape measure. He can measure with his feet and his phone, and we'll see who's more accurate. So this whole building has walls, so we have flashing. We have 2 types of flashing on this one. Ignore this one. This is an oversized flashing, so a custom flashing. But our standard flashings, which go, I can't write upside down, but 5 inches on the roof, 4 inches up the wall. Notice one's at a 90. That's for a sidewall because this angle is a 90. Our head wall flashing, which is right there, because the roof climbs up to it, it's got the slope of the roof here, so this is not a 90-degree bend. So as I walk the roof and measure all the sections, I'm just gonna measure how much flashing I need, tally it up, and then add it up at the end. Okay, if I want my panel to stop at the wall, Ernesto, how many inches do I have to add? See if you've been paying attention.
What?
It measures 14.6 to the wall. What do I have to add to that? Huh?
What?
2. Why do you have to add 2 inches and not 1? Piece that goes down the bottom is called a bullnose. It looks like this. It's got a loop, and then it comes down and kicks out. So this is the roof side. This is the face side that covers the fascia. The bottom of the panels get folded and hemmed on there and locked, and then come up the roof. So this is 1 inch, but I have to fold it 1 inch. So it hangs off the roof 1 inch and folded 1 inch. I got to add 2. This is our first valley. After I'm done talking, Ernesto, stand here and film the line in the valley. It's supposed to be a straight line. You're going to giggle, and there's a worse one than this, but we put a different piece of flashing in here, so I'm going to label that. This is fucking goofy because the panels keep going like 6 inches under the roof. So we're just gonna take this out, get a flashing behind here, and then put the panels back over top, because the way it is now, there's nothing to stop the water from just going down the cracks, and we're waterproofer, so we gotta waterproof it, even though this is a weird situation. So the flashing will just be behind here and come out over top of the panels, but we'll have to cut the edges of this to tuck behind it. Okay, Ernesto, where do I want the panel at?
2 more inches.
From where? You tell me.
From here, 2 inches.
Now, if I do it from here 2 inches, now all my guys are gonna have to cut every single panel. It's gonna take them twice as long to install this side. So I want the panel to stop short. Place them where they go, screw them down, and be done. So 14.5 is where I want the panel to end. I'm gonna order an extra 2, 14.7. All right, you're measuring the next roof by yourself. Now that we're like a quarter of the way through, there's no details, there's no new details. So like we've already ran into the gable, the flashing behind the wall. We know every one of these is around 15 foot long. So now I could just count and add to my counts and add new pieces. There's no more drawing new pieces, I just need to count. So I know I got 2 more gable, I know I got my flashing behind the wall, I know I got my sidewall, and then I'll keep measuring from my head wall all the way across. Plus 42, pretty close. He's on it. Doing way better than I thought. How long's this panel? Yeah.
49.
14.9 on the money. This is goofy. We don't want water to go through there, so we have to flash to this wall. But imagine that's 5 inches. Our normal flashing is gonna come 5 inches off the wall. So I need this one to be way longer off the wall so that this still carries a nice straight line, even though it's 2 different pieces. You get me? So if my flashing's 5 off the wall, it's gonna be off the stucco.
Kevin?
He's just shouting numbers. What is 7? What? He's the man. I gotta hold it with my left hand. Okay, the flashing's 5. Now what does that measure? 9. So I need a special flashing that's 9 onto the roof. So that looks like a nice straight line and no water goes, whoop. I'll never get on a roof again. What's the point? Got the Rain Man down there. Okay, so we just measured this entire shopping center, the whole front overhangs, and then those 3 main roofs up top. And I just got done. I have all my notes, and I'm just thinking back to a podcast I did with Jason Reisman, where at one point he goes, 90% of roofers don't even know how to measure a roof for metal. And it sounds crazy to hear someone say that, but what he means is like, there's a lot of roofing companies that do metal roofs, and they just rely on this computer-generated satellite imagery to send all of the metal out to the house. But I can promise you the details aren't there. Look what happens when an actual metal guy comes out to a job and measures everything and takes every little detail into account. How tall flashings are, what angles are they at, what are the measurements of them, what's the exact measurement of every single panel. That's what it means to measure a roof for metal. And now I know that every single detail on this roof's been accounted for, and my customer can show up with a metal package in the street and they're not going to be missing any material. And every single inch of this roof has been thought out, and we bend the metal custom for it. It's the reason metal is the best roof, but a lot of guys don't know how to do this. And we at Metal Ops help people do this. So we'll do the first couple with you. We'll train your foremans, we'll train your production manager, we'll train your salespeople, we'll train you if you want to be the one that's trained. This is what we're doing different in the market that no other metal suppliers are, and this is why they're all scared of us. Allá, siete. For this wall and that inside wall, we're short. So he's expecting taller flashings for those. This is day 2 of this project. You'll remember seeing me up on the roof with Rob and Olivia, my crew, kind of measuring things out, getting all the details in order. This job was kind of tricky because we got brought in super last minute. They had somebody else dialed in to do this project, and we ended up getting brought in last minute in a hurry. So a lot of the copper trim was already bent, which made this job complicated because everyone's going to have their different ways to handle details. So we built our cut sheet, but now we're kind of having to work off of the material they gave us. So I need the flashing to be, what would you say?
6.5.
6.5, I like it. Yesterday, we put all the mansard vertical panels, the long panels up. Probably the hardest day we're gonna have here. So now day 2, we're getting our bearings about us. We're going through all the flashing details, making sure we have what we need. Their plan was to use that and close this gap with stucco stop. I don't know if I have to hold it. You can see I'm
I
short.
get it. I get it. Okay.
So I showed Robin this.
Okay.
And he knows he's short here.
Okay.
But I'm trying to use this now.
Okay.
Do you see how that's pretty close to lining up?
Yeah.
That would look sharp. So I can use this here. I can cover it with the copper. My bullnose face will kind of meet the bottom of this. It won't be perfect, but it's almost perfect.
Okay.
I just need taller flashing for this whole wall. This side, that side, and the middle. Unless you want me to double tier stucco stop.
Well, if you say it's gonna look ugly, I don't want to do that.
I'm gonna show them with pieces. I'm gonna show them with a tape measure. I'm gonna give them my ideas, and I'm gonna let them make a decision about their project and how it want it done. But there's not many metal suppliers that can offer this to their customers, and this is just what we do here. So these screws are too low, and what they sent here, this transition that's gonna cover this and cover these, it's too short. So Robin knows I need more of this too, with a larger face.
Okay.
So I've got 11 pieces of extra metal, plus 2 is 13, plus another 2 is 15. I would need taller flashings for the insides on both sides, this inside on both sides.
You want them all the same, so however long we're gonna make it, you want them all like that?
No, I'm gonna give you specifics because I don't want to over order. So like right here, I only need 6 inches for this one and that one. And then I need 18 for the inside. This job will end up coming out beautiful. The homeowner is super excited. I'm extremely tired. I was in the shop bending panels at 12:30 last night, and I was here at the job at 6 a.m. This is just what we do at Metal Ops. We are true metal roof experts, and we're here to help you grow your metal business, help you keep your customers happy, and help you install metal like actual experts. As you can see, guys, I'm not your average metal supplier. I love roofing. I came up in roofing. I'm happy to hop in the truck, run out and help you with whatever you need. And that's the whole reason we came to Tampa. I felt like the metal industry in Stuart was more mature. We've been doing it a lot longer. There's more experienced crews. There's a lot of companies out there that are more experienced with metal, although they still need support. I felt like Tampa was fresh grounds, and a lot of companies just treat metal roofing as this niche product on the side, and they don't realize that there's about to be an explosion in metal roofing. So we came over here. I'm sitting at our shop in Tampa right now to do exactly what you just saw me do. Help support our customers in any way they can, because if our customers grow their business, we in turn grow our business, and that is our actual business model. Help our customers grow so that we grow.